So good morning, everyone. As he told you, I will talk to you about OpenMP and OpenACC. So the title of my presentation here is not exactly the same, but don't worry, I will talk about OpenMP and OpenACC. So today, I will present you results that we have on OpenPower platform. I don't know if all of you are aware of OpenPower platforms, but I really would like to talk to you about that today. And I will go deeper into one application and show you how we ported it using OpenMP for GPUs and OpenACC. So first slide, I wanted to talk to you about GenC. I don't know if all of you know GenC. So in fact, we are in charge of the national HPC strategy in France. We have 3 national centers with more than 7 petaflops available. And we have partnerships at the regional level. We also present France into the PRAISE program. And we promote the use of HPC in France for industry. So we're mainly the organization that is dealing with HPC for its whole strategy in France. And today, the results I will present you are driven by the Technological Watch Group of GenC. So this group is led by GenC and its partners. We have all the partners here. So maybe you know CEA, INRIA, CNRS, Maison de la Simulation, CNES, and so on. So all our partners, national partners, are helping us to anticipate what is coming next. So what are the next technologies that we'll have to use, mainly for the researchers, because what we want to do is science. We do not just want to do HPC. The idea is really to produce science. And so the idea is that we'll buy prototypes, we enable those prototypes for the users, and people give us feedback on what they can do on the machines, if they have good performances, and if it's really the idea is, can we use a machine easily and efficiently? And so the idea is to organize code modernization with the partners, and also to share the expertise that we produced with this project. And one of the key components for us is to preserve the code legacy, and the key aspect for us is to use OpenMP. Because a lot of codes are already ported using OpenMP, and we don't want to push people to rewrite everything using CUDA or even OpenACC. So just to present you the platform is called Ouessant. It's an OpenPower platform. Ouessant is a small island in Brittany, in France. And so we have a 12 IBM system S822LC Minsky nodes. So just to remind you, those nodes are 2 IBM Power 8 10-core processors with 128 GB of memory per node, and we have 2 NVIDIA P100 GPU per socket. So that gives us a node with 4 P100 GPU. So it's a very dense node. It's more or less like a DGX1. So it's alpha DGX1. And on one side, it's better than DGX1 because we have an NVLink interconnect between the GPU and the socket. So the CPU is directly linked to the GPU using NVLink. And for those 12 nodes, we have EDR interconnect as an InfiniBand interconnect. We have multiple compilers, so that is one of the issues of the platform. We have the PGI compiler, the IBM Excel compiler, the LLVM compiler. The idea is that we are targeting the PGI compiler for OpenACC and the IBM Excel compiler for OpenMP. On top of that, we also have the PowerAI platform. So it's distribution which is provided by IBM to enable you to perform deep learning efficiently and easily. The trouble is that this distribution is supported only using Ubuntu, and the machine we are using is using Red Hat. So we have to use Docker to enable this PowerAI platform. But it's working well. We can use the job scheduler to run the Docker system. It's really, really efficient. And also, I would like to thank IBM and, of course, NVIDIA for their support, because we organize a lot of workshops. And thanks to them, we're able to have performances on this platform. So the work we have done is on 18 applications, and it's real-world applications. It represents what we are doing in France. We have two applications that are GPU focused, so that means they were already enabled for GPUs. We have one OpenCL application. There is no official support for OpenCL on Open Power Platform, so we have no results on this application at the moment. And we have 15, I would say, standard applications. That means Fortran C applications that are quite easily to port on the platform. And we have 4 withdrawals so far, so the OpenCL one and others. And so the work we have done is on 14 applications. So now we present you the results we have on those applications. I go very quickly because I don't have a lot of time to go over all that. So here are the results. I don't have results on all the applications because work is still ongoing for some of them. But what is interesting here is that we can see that most of the applications are ported using CUDA. If the bar is green, that means it's ported using CUDA. Okay? If the bar is light green, like this one, 27.4, that means it's only a kernel. And when it's dark green, that means it's a full applications. Okay? You also have purple bars, and so it's the same idea. The only difference is that here we are using OpenACC instead of CUDA. So what we can see is that for all the applications, we have a very good speed up, either on one kernel or on the full application. So that means the Open Power node is very, very efficient. The only bad thing we have here is that we do not have results on OpenMP. And why we do not have results on OpenMP? It's because at the moment it's still not mature for using GPUs, and that's what I will show you later on one application. But yeah, at the moment it's difficult to have results on OpenMP. One last thing, maybe, a very important thing is that for having those results, it took us something like 1 year of work. So that doesn't mean 1 year per application, but that means that we spend a few days, a few weeks with the users to help them porting the application on the platform. And that's the main difference, I would say, because we're also working on kernel platforms. So we have a machine with a lot of Intel kernels inside, and it took us something like 1 or 2 days to port the applications, and we had something like 50% speed up on all the applications in 1 or 2 days. Here, for those results, I would say the mean value would be 2 to 3 weeks of effort to port the application on the platform. So it's not the same effort, but it's worth it because we have much higher speedups than on Intel kernel platforms. So the first conclusion on this part, and then I go to the one application. The Power 8 processor is very easy to use. The PowerPC now is quite straightforward to use. You just have to take your application, C or Fortran or whatever. You compile, it runs. It takes no longer than maybe half a day because Fortran compilers or C compilers using IBM compilers are more, I would say, compliant to the standards. So Intel is compliant to the standards, but it's okay if you are doing messy stuff. With IBM compilers, it's not the case, so you will have to fix 1 or 2 bugs in your applications, probably, but it's really easy to use. About the programming models, CUDA gives very, very high performances. OpenACC gives quite high performances, as you have seen on the latest slide. We have still speedups of about 10 for using OpenACC instead of CUDA. OpenMP, we do not have a real feedback on it at the moment. I cannot tell you it doesn't work. I cannot tell you we do not have performances. The only thing I can tell you is that it's not mature at the moment, but we really hope that we'll be able to get the same performances using OpenMP than OpenACC. And it makes sense. But the compilers, PGI works very well for both CPU, GPU. That's not a trouble. And about IBM XL, it's more and more GPU friendly using OpenMP, I mean. And every 2 weeks or every month, we have an update with new features integrated in the compiler. And the non-beta version, the real release that will arrive soon, will be completely GPU aware for OpenMP, and that should really, really work. So the first results are very promising. We have opened the platform for the French community, the French scientific community, in April 2017. Now we are also opening the platform to a wider community, so European, even maybe international. If you have any project you would like to try on this platform, please feel free to contact me and maybe we can do something together. What I would like to point out as well is that we have a new focus on AI applications. At the beginning, it was 50% of the applications we received when we opened the platform. Now we are close to 1/3 of the applications we have, of the projects we have on the platform, which are AI projects. And we really want to push the scientifics to try AI and to use this platform for AI, because the first feedbacks that we have are very, very good, and you may have seen all the presentations that happened those last 2 days, that the results on AI are very, very good on the GPU, NVIDIA GPUs. So now we go on the application. So the application I will present you today is called the Metal Walls. So it's developed by Université Pierre et Marie Curie and Maison de la Simulation in France. And these applications enable us to create new storage devices like supercapacitors. It can do other stuff, but mainly this one. There is an MPI OpenACC implementation that has been developed by Maison de la Simulation, so thanks to Abel Marin-Laflèche and Mathieu Effele. The development started in Q1 2017. It took something like 1 or 2 months to port to OpenACC, and the code is only 3,500 lines for the computational part. So the full code is something like 50,000, but we focus on 3,500. And in this particular part, we only have 2 kernels, and it's really easy to understand. I mean, when you're in the field, it's really easy to understand how you will have to modify your kernels in order to port it to GPUs. Now we can say that 90%, even more, I would say 95 to 98% of the application is fully ported to OpenACC. And the porting effort, I told you, is about 2 months. About the MPI plus OpenMP version, the development started in Q3 2017. So it's very first results. And the first results were available after only 1 week. The idea is that since we had an OpenACC implementation and that the data we were dealing with were in the right shape, it's easy for us to use OpenMP. Really, the idea with the GPUs is to understand how you will use this architecture using the right data layout and so on. So, as I told you, there are 2 main types of function. One type takes more than 80% of the time, so I will present you this type of function. So in this function, we have 2 loops. I tried to do something really simple. Not that I do not believe that you can understand something more difficult, but it's more easy to maybe understand what's going on in the 2 loops. So the idea is that we have a 3-dimensional loop here, LMN, so we are dealing with stuff in 3 dimensions. And we also added cache blocking here. So we have 3 dimensions, and so I would say on each particle in 3 dimensions, we are going over all the other particles to add stuff and so on. So it's not the really important point. So the idea is that we add yellow and blue to make green, and then we multiply green by red to make purple. And at the end, in this part, which is the cache blocking part, so we are working on the block, at the end of this block, we add the TMP scalar value to a buffer, which is a 3-dimensional buffer. Okay. In the second loop, we do almost the same. The difference is that for each element in the block, we multiply this TMP array by the value of the buffer. So when you see that, you could imagine that we could merge the 2 loops, but it's not true. We cannot merge those 2 loops because we are, in fact, multiplying partial value by the sum of all the values for the 3 dimension. So we have to deal with 2 loops. So here what we have is this 3-dimension loop. In those loops, we have high enough parallelism. That means we have something like 1. I think if we multiply L by M by N, we have something which is higher than 1,000. So that's enough to create enough threads. And here we can use single instruction multiple data because we are working on I, and there is no dependency, and it's very easy to vectorize on this part. So in fact, this part was created at the beginning for Xeon CPUs. And so the vectorization here was quite straightforward for using GPUs. As we are working on using a cache blocking model, the only thing we had to do is to have a large block. And if we have a large block, that means we have a lot of instructions to perform here, and that we can vectorize very efficiently. So those seems to be the conditions for efficient use of the GPU. So what we did is that we added ACC pragmas to the loops. So it was quite easy. Here we have parallelization. So we had a parallel loop with a loop gang. We collapsed those 3 loops. So here there is only 1 loop, but it's only pseudocode, of course. So in the real code, we have 3 loops, so we collapse them. And then we had a loop vector with a reduction on the TMP scalar here. Okay. So it's quite easy once you have the right data layout. And on the second loop, it's the same. The only thing here is that we had to add a value to a potential. And the thing is that this potential was inside the SIMD loop, so the vector loop. And so we had to pay attention to the fact that only one thread accesses the potential at a time. And so we had to add an ACC atomic update. So this gave us the speedup that I showed you earlier, and it was very easy to port. I mean, the porting effort was 2 months, so it was not that easy, but once you have the right data layout, it's easy. So the idea now is to deal with the memory management. So we wanted to use only the managed memory. So we have our 2 loops, and we didn't really know how the managed memory was behaving at the beginning. So what we could have expected is that we are copying the yellow, the blue, the red, and the buffer on the GPU, and at the end of the loop, everything comes back to the CPU. That's what we expected. And for the second loop, we copy back the yellow, the blue, the red, the buffer, and the potential to the GPU, and then it comes back to the CPU. That's more or less what we could expect for standard memory management. In fact, what is done using the Tesla managed compiler option for the PGI compiler is very smart. So the idea is that here, it knows that we will use yellow and blue and red on the GPU. So it copies everything to the GPU. The buffer here is used only on the GPU. So the buffer is allocated on the GPU. And then, for the second loop, it only copies back the buffer. I mean, it does not copy back the buffer. The buffer is used on the GPU, but it's used here. And the potential is computed on the GPU, and then sent to the CPU at the end of the loop. So it's really reducing the data management. So it's a smart management. We have less memory transfers. And what we wanted to do is to make sure that this behavior was the right one using the managed memory. And so we just added the ACC pragmas that are dealing with all the copies, and so the copy out and copy in to make sure that the data are at the right place. And in fact, what we have seen is that we have exactly the same time to solution using the explicit data management and the automatic data management. So here are the results for OpenACC. The Fortran MPI code on 20 cores using Power 8. For this kernel, it takes 368 seconds. Using 1 GPU, it takes 31 seconds. Using 4 GPUs, it takes 9 seconds. Okay? So the speed up of 1 GPU versus a full Power 8 node is about 12. Using 4 GPUs versus 1 GPU is about 3.5. So it's quite good scalability. And the 4 GPUs versus a full node is times 41. So it's a very good speed up for this application. And yeah, it's the work performed by PGI is very, very good on the memory management because it's working very well. So just a few words about the OpenMP implementations. What we did is that we started from the OpenACC one, and we moved to OpenMP. So it's quite easy. The ACC parallel pragma becomes an OMP target. The ACC loop gang collapse becomes OMP team distribute. Parallel do. In fact, we did parallel do because it's more or less the same as loop vector here. And the only thing that we have to take care of are the private information because we have to say which variables are private or not in the OpenMP part. This has to be defined. It's a bit more, it is more explicit. OpenMP is explicit while OpenACC is implicit, so that's the main difference. So it's the same for the second loop with an OMP atomic at this point, same as ACC atomic. And for the data management, it's the same as well. So we create data for the buffer to remain on the GPU. That becomes an alloc. The copy out becomes a from, and the copy in becomes a to. So it's more or less transparent. But in OpenMP, you have to be fully explicit. Even the scalars, you have to say everything that will be on the GPU or not. On the arrays as well, here we do not specify. Here we have to specify. If we do not specify, we have wrong results. So the OpenMP code is running at the moment, but we have stability issues. It's really weird because it's numerical deviation, and we do not know at the moment why we have this behavior using OpenMP and not using OpenACC. So, conclusion. Porting to GPU using OpenMP or OpenACC is quite the same. The only thing you have to think about is the way you express parallelism. Here we work with 3D loops. We can express enough parallelism, we can create enough threads, and then we have vectorization, so that works very well. If you want to use GPUs, you have to think about this very, very important point. The memory management now becomes very easy to deal with because the compiler is very strong for dealing with that. If you're using OpenMP, it's not the same case because you have to be explicit. And you have very good performances. For porting to OpenMP, so as I told you, as we started from OpenACC, it was quite easy. The main difference is that you do not have any feedback from the Excel compiler at the moment. As I told you, it's a beta version, so maybe later we'll have a feedback. But when you compile with PGI, it tells you everything it does. So it tells you which part of the memory is copied and so on. So it's really easy to understand what will be the behavior on the GPU. With the Excel compiler and OpenMP, you have nothing. So as long as you are compliant with the standard, it compiles, but you do not know how it will behave. And one thing which is a shame at the moment is that OpenMP for GPU is not understood by CPUs. So the PGI latest compiler says that it will enable this feature, so that's a good thing. But right now, the main difference between CPU and GPUs is that in one case, GPU, we use team distribute, and on CPU, we do not use team distribute. But the code is more or less the same. So I really hope that one day we'll have one implementation, which is the OpenMP implementation for both GPU and CPU. And so, yeah, OpenMP GPU is a more and more serious candidate, and I really encourage you to have a look at this, maybe in 2018. That will really enable you to have only one implementation for both CPU and GPUs. Thank you.